Let's just jump straight into it. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're bypassing the usual dramatic hacker headlines and the fear-mongering. Instead, we're taking a really calm, operator-level look at a very specific, critical risk facing athletes, creators, founders, and public-facing operators. We're talking about digital access failure. It's a risk that honestly rarely gets the serious attention it deserves, but it is essentially the true career infrastructure risk of the modern era.
I want you to ask yourself a serious question right now. If your phone, your primary email, or your main social platform just failed today, would you know exactly how to regain control? And I don't mean just having a vague idea about clicking forgot password. I mean, do you know exactly who holds the recovery keys, which specific device gets the prompt, and what the precise step-by-step path is to get your livelihood back online? For most operators, well, the honest answer is no. And that exact gap in knowledge is what we're going to map out today.
Section 1. Career infrastructure at risk. We're looking beyond the casual account. Let's shift how we view our digital presence.
The big mindset shift here is recognizing that for you, a public-facing operator, digital accounts aren't just social tools. They are the absolute core infrastructure of your career. They literally drive your income, your reputation, your brand deals, and public trust. When your revenue and deal flow rely entirely on these platforms, any interruption to your access isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a direct threat to your livelihood. It's basically like a physical brick-and-mortar business having its front doors padlocked without warning.
It's actually fascinating to see the disconnect between what we obsess over and what actually breaks. Look at the left side here, the visible focus. This is where everyone looks, right? Passwords, two-factor authentication, keeping hackers out. And yes, those absolutely matter. But look over at the right, the hidden risk. The much bigger, silent risk isn't some hooded hacker breaking in. It's not knowing who or what actually controls your recovery when access inevitably glitches or fails. Things like device trust and delegated authority. This is where operators actually lose their accounts.
Moving on to the 5 failure points. It's time to uncover those blind spots so we can properly map this out.
First up is what we call identity spine failure. Think of your identity spine as the central pillar of your digital life, usually your main email or phone number. It's the master key that controls the password resets, recovery links, and verifications for literally everything else. If this main account is weak, unclear, or just unmanaged, your whole ecosystem is incredibly vulnerable. If you lose access to your identity spine, the keys to your entire digital kingdom are basically gone in an instant.
Next is recovery path failure. Honestly, this one is incredibly common. It happens when the systems designed to save you actually end up trapping you. Think about it. Maybe your backup codes are saved on a laptop that died 2 years ago, or your backup phone number receiving SMS codes belongs to a former manager. So when you desperately need to get back in, the path is either a total dead end, or the door can only be unlocked by someone who isn't even on your team anymore.
The third point is device trust failure. You see, we upgrade our tech all the time, but the platforms, they remember our old tech. That means an old phone sitting in a drawer somewhere or a forgotten browser session on a shared computer might still be quietly logged in. Platforms trust these devices, which gives them major influence over your accounts to bypass security checks. If you don't actively sever that trust, those old devices are essentially unmonitored backdoors right into your career infrastructure.
Fourth is delegated authority failure. As you scale, you bring on help, right? Managers, agencies, assistants. They obviously need access to do their jobs. But this becomes a massive failure point when that access lacks clear ownership or strict boundaries. Like, do they have full admin rights when they really only need publishing rights? If you delegate authority casually, you lose the ability to cleanly and quickly revoke access, which creates a huge liability.
Finally, we have platform income dependency failure. This happens when the specific platforms driving your major revenue, like a YouTube channel with millions of subscribers or an Instagram fielding 6-figure deals, are treated with the exact same casual security as an everyday personal profile. I mean, you wouldn't secure a bank vault with a screen door. Yet, high-impact accounts tied directly to your income are routinely protected by nothing more than a shared password and, well, hoping for the best.
Next section, unstable versus stabilized. Let's evaluate your actual access environment. Seeing these failure points brilliantly illustrates the stark difference between an amateur setup and a professional environment. An unstable environment on the left is chaotic. No clear owner, old devices are floating around connected, and recovery info is totally outdated. If an account goes down, it's pure panic because there's no regain path. But a stabilized environment on the right, that's calm. Primary accounts are identified.
trusted devices are strictly understood. And most importantly, the exact next steps to recover access are fully documented and ready. Which brings us to the stabilization sprint, mapping your actual environment. Moving from chaos to calm requires a very specific process. The Digital Access Stabilization Sprint maps your unique, real-world setup to create a clear blueprint. This isn't just generic advice. It clarifies exactly what controls your recovery, categorizes which accounts matter most, pinpoints exactly where access could fail tomorrow, audits who truly has authority, and gives you a prioritized list of what must be fixed first. It's all about gaining absolute clarity.
Now, let's talk about securing your application and understanding exactly who this is built for.
Because this is a private, operator-level review, we need to be transparent. This sprint is specifically for public-facing people who depend on digital access for income, reputation, and opportunity. It is strictly not for someone just looking for generic cybersecurity awareness, technical hacking tutorials, or some impossible guarantee that nothing will ever go wrong. This is entirely about professional mapping and risk mitigation.
So, if you're ready to stop treating your career infrastructure like casual accounts and you want your actual access environment thoroughly reviewed, I am currently opening this up for 10 private sprint spots. To apply for a private digital access stabilization sprint, complete the intake form linked below this explainer. I'll leave you with this final thought to consider today. If you don't have absolute clarity on who or what controls your digital recovery, do you truly own your career infrastructure? Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing your applications.